You look nice today.
Thanks, I'm an artillery trooper.
Like a secondary character?
That's ancillary?
Oh, like the way a heart pumps blood.
That's aortically.
When two halves of the thing are different from each other?
That's asymmetrically?
When you can hear something.
Audibly?
Audibly? That reminds me of today's sponsor, Audible.com. Go to audible.com/Josh. Build stuff for 20% off your next listening book. Hello, Mandalorians, magistrates, and miniature versions of iconic Star Wars characters. I'm Josh, this is Josh Build Stuff, and we are not actually sponsored by Audible.com. Who would listen to a book when you can read it with your eyeballs? That's never gonna catch on. Today, we are talking about the Imperial Armored Marauder, one new Star Wars set that came out at the beginning of August in 2021, along with a whole bunch of other new LEGO Star Wars sets. This set contains 478 pieces, is recommended for ages 8+, and costs $40 here in the US. Now I know what you might be thinking, that set looks like a big gray brick with some excellent minifigures included. Some of you may even say that the minifigures in this set aren't all that excellent. Well, I'll say watch your mouth. You're in mixed company here, my friend. Pay attention. Read the room. We like Stormtroopers around here, so I'm very happy with the minifigures included in this set. As for the armored vehicle itself, I've heard a lot of people describe this vehicle the same way that they've described me. They've said it's small but mighty. They've called it unassuming. They've even said it's ugly, which hurts my feelings every time. But if you ask me, this set is similar to the way that I would describe my friend Optimus here. That is to say, more than meets the eye, because I think this little vehicle is a lot better than a lot of people give it credit for being. But we will talk more about this vehicle, the minifigures, and everything that I like and dislike about this set right after we build it. The build for this set, it was like that birthday party that I always wanted but never got. It was a surprise. The build was a surprise. The analogies here are actually starting to get a little sad here. But I was like all of you. I thought this build would be like building a big gray brick, but there are so many interior details going on and so many moving parts on this little vehicle that the build was actually a lot of fun because it all came together a lot nicer than you would expect for something that does indeed look like a big gray brick. And speaking of Darth Maul, he was literally trying to tell the truth the entire time at the end of Season 7. He was saying Anakin is gonna be bad and Palpatine is bad and Palpatine is training Anakin to turn bad, and Ahsoka wouldn't listen to him. Sorry, I just finished reviewing the Duel on Mandalore set. You can watch that video on the channel now, and I didn't mention this in that video, but it's been bothering me ever since. No one wants to listen to Darth Maul just because he's a bad guy. Is it because he's a red guy? Because that's racist, I think. And speaking of diversity, this set finally introduced some diversity into the Stormtroopers. Before, it was a lot of white in these Stormtroopers, but now, finally, we get a little bit of diversity because one of these Stormtroopers he's yellow now. He's got some yellow on him. He's an artillery trooper. He shoots artillery, mortars and stuff. Also, there is one of the two regular Stormtroopers included here is a female Stormtrooper, and one is I was going to say African-American Stormtrooper, but I guess Stormtroopers probably aren't from Africa or America. They're from space. So we get a female Stormtrooper and a black Stormtrooper, which is actually, I do appreciate seeing some diversity among the Stormtrooping ranks. Also included is a new version of Greef Karga, and Greef means sad, but this minifigure is anything but sad. This dude is positively cool looking. His outfit looks straight up regal. I think it is very reminiscent of what he wears in Season 2 of Mandalorian, which makes me just want to go back and watch Season 2. I really enjoyed it, but this minifigure is very cool looking. He doesn't have the double face, which we got in a previous Carl Weathers, Greef Karga minifigure. It's not a minifigure of the actor, it's a minifigure of the character, but all this to say, this minifigure looks pretty cool. I said it before and I'll say it again. This set is better than you're probably giving it credit for. In addition to the decent looking minifigures here, which are just in the way at this point, the vehicle itself is better than you might think. Here's the profile of it, and I know what you're thinking. She's probably lying about her profile. She says she's 23, but if you look under the hood, there's some rust up in there. So this puppy's probably a pre-Republic era build if I had to guess myself. The profile, basically the general shape of this ship is cool looking, and it looks just like it did in the Mandalorian show. A little more blocky in this case, but that is to be expected because this is in fact made of blocks. As for playability, this vehicle has 4 stud shooters, 2 up top and 2 in the front. And if you're looking to shoot some studs, watch out. Me or 92 5/8 dimensional lumber, like a wall stud. If you have standard 8-foot ceilings, obviously it's different if you have 9-foot or 10-foot ceilings, but we're not trying to generalize here. Additionally, here's my actual favorite part of this set. This vehicle has no right to open up as much as it does. This thing opens up more than I do in my weekly therapy sessions, if you know what I mean. I've actually missed the last couple of weeks. Can you tell by my general demeanor? But here, I'm still talking and I'm still opening more and more compartments along this thing. This thing is almost more door on the outside of it than it is vehicle itself. Here's where the fun construction came in as well, because so much of the interior of this thing is empty. Much like myself, or so I told my therapist. Again, yeah, so much of this vehicle, really, I've broken it here. So much of this vehicle is empty space, which makes it playable because you can actually fit minifigures on the inside of this thing. You can fit the entire crew that comes with this vehicle, and there's actually, I think, 4 total seats that you could seat minifigures in. You got a driver's seat, you got 2 seats, which are very hard to see, which you can put people right in that middle compartment. You've got a little gunner seat in the back, which rotates with the stud shooters up top, which is a lot of fun. Look at this thing. It looks like a completely different vehicle when you completely open the thing up. Plus, these 2 little back doors are supposed to be little cargo doors, and this set comes with a couple of little Imperial cargo containers. I know they're cargo because in Arabesh right there on the side, it says cargo, and I didn't even have to look up an Arabesh translator because that is just the person that I have chosen to be. But knowing Arabesh is a useful skill in everyday life, and it's on my resume. My resume hasn't gotten any hits lately, but someday Arabesh may actually prove to be a useful skill in the real world, not just when you're visiting Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I miss when it was just MGM Studios. Get over it. Things change, times change. What I'm trying to say is that this vehicle has a lot of doors on it. A lot of opening, a lot of articulation. In addition to stud shooters, you got these little swivel guns on the side, which I like. I think this vehicle is cooler than it looks. It's a tank. It doesn't have wheels, but it slides around pretty well on these smooth pieces down there. Overall, don't say mean things about me or my vehicles, or I won't invite you to my birthday party next year. This is a cooler vehicle than people are saying it is. That is all I have to say about that. And so my final thoughts on this set, once again, I can describe them the same way that a lot of people have described me. They've said it's better than it looks at first. Don't judge the ship by its initial outward appearance. Again, it hurts my feelings every single time. I'm just saying this set is a little better than I think people are giving it credit for. Sure, it looks like a big gray brick, but it's a Star Wars vehicle, and it has all of the qualities that I think go into a Star Wars vehicle. I can understand that some people might not love it, but for me, give me any set with 3 Stormtroopers, one of them a cool new variant, that is a set I'm going to buy day one, and I did. And for 40 bucks, but it seems a little high for the size of the set, but it's almost 500 pieces. I think overall this set is very easy to justify picking up. A lot of people have said the same thing about me when originally deciding to date me. He's easy to pick up, I guess. Okay, that analogy was a bit of a stretch, but it's the last one, I promise. As always, let me know what you think about this little vehicle in the comments down below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. When you're able to get up and walk around,
That's ambulatory.
when you're very good at making the art,
Artistically.
when you're very good at making the paychecks,
A salary.
when you're able to reproduce without a partner.
That's a thing I don't think we should say in a video.